Hi everybody, it's Yudi here doing my labor and delivery story. It's gonna be really quick because my labor and yeah, my labor was actually pretty fast and it was pretty good except for a little bump there. But so with Emily, it took me 11 hours. I was in labor for 11 hours. They had to induce me, they use the Pitocin, they use this pill that they put up in your what to soften your cervix. And anyways, you already know what induction is. So I was supposed to get induced on Thursday last week, and when I went in for my appointment on Tuesday, 2 days before I was supposed to get induced, I talked to my doctor and she said that I was supposed to be induced the week before. The week before. But she was on vacation and she didn't receive the message until Monday, the day before I went into the appointment. So she's like, you were supposed to be induced last week. She's like, but I didn't get the message until yesterday, which at that time would have been Monday. So she's like, did you choose to do it on Thursday? Because we can do it now, like tonight, if you want us to. But, I was kind of nervous, and I'm like, no, I'll wait till Thursday, I wanted to make sure I had everything ready at my house. I wanted to make sure I had a good night's sleep. My sister was going to watch Emily, like, the night before I went in so that I could sleep, So anyway, so she's like, well, we can do it, like, tomorrow, which was Wednesday, in the morning. And then I was just thinking, and I'm like, should I just do it? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. I can sleep tonight. So then she went and she called to set me up for tomorrow. But there was no openings. So she's like, well, you have to do it tonight. So I had to go in at 7 at night, that night on Tuesday. That's when I made that video. Pero careful. Manito. Anyways, so I went in at 7 and they were like, they take forever. They put a pill up there probably 2 hours after I was already there because they asked all these questions. They had to find the baby's heartbeat, but like I mentioned with Emily, it was hard to find her heartbeat. With this one, they would find it like fast, but then he kept moving. So they had to do like they had to go in there like in up my to put the little thing on his head like they did with her so they can hear his heartbeat. Ve con papi, córrele. Tú nomás estás puchando botones. So anyways, so then they did that, but the nurse that was doing it, there was two nurses. One of them was training, and I hate it when people train with stuff like with needles or anything when it has to do with me or any of my kids. Like, I just hate having nurses that are training. I know they have to train with people at some point, but does it have to be with me? Like, this nurse, they told her to put that little thing on the baby's head, so I was like really nervous because they were explaining to her how to do it. So then they went in there and they had to like put the thing on the head, and it's like a little like pointy thing, and you're supposed to like go in, touch with your hands to make sure you're touching the head. Then you put this thing in there and it goes inside his head and you twist it. So she was doing that, but it was hurting me. And then the doctor was there. She's like, are you sure it's not? You're not putting in her cervix? And she's like, no, this is the head, I'm sure. So anyways, when she twisted the thing, I was like, ow, I yelled. And I'm like, why is it hurting me? And then they're like, I don't remember what they said. So then when the doctor went in there to check, sure enough, she put it on my cervix. Like, I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, what if she puts it like in his eyeball or something? Like, she doesn't know what she's doing. But, I wouldn't say nothing. So, and my sister was really mad also. She's like, why are they putting people that don't know what they're doing, like, with you? I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, so the doctor had to go and do it. And she did it right, right away. You heard the baby's heart. And so when they did that, they had to check me. Like, they had already put the pill in. And maybe like an hour later, I was already feeling contractions. Like, I started feeling contractions. Like, they weren't that bad. But at first, I was like, they asked me, do you want the epidural? And I was like, no, I'm going to try and have it natural. Mrs. Brave again. So then, because I thought, they said it'll go faster because it's my second baby and I'm being induced. It'll go right, like, really fast. So I'm like, no, I think I can handle a few hours of pain. Not 11 hours, but. So then as soon as I felt the first contraction, I'm like doubting. I'm like, wait a minute. I kind of remember these pains now. Like, I remember what they feel like. I'm not sure. that I can do it without the epidural. So my sister's like, well, if you're gonna ask for it now, because they're gonna take forever to come. You know, by the time the guy comes in to put the epidural in, it's gonna be forever, and you might like not even have time to get it. And she's telling me all this stuff. So then I'm like, okay, I changed my mind. I think I do want it. So the guy came in like 40 minutes. He was really quick. He put it in. You know, I started feeling the numbness, and I started feeling tingly, and I didn't feel the contractions like really quick. It was like it all happened so fast. And this was like around 12, I would say. Like, yeah, 12, almost 1. And by this time, they had already checked me, and I was already 4 centimeters dilated. And then they said, if she's already 4, we can break her water. Like 4 is the limit, like the lowest or whatever. So they broke my water, and you know, right after that, it was like 12ish, like I went into labor, like big time labor, like on my own. I didn't need the Pitocin, I didn't need anything. The only thing that I got done was like they put the little pill in there. So then, you know, as soon as they broke my water, my contractions started getting harder, and then this is when the guy came in like 40 minutes later and then put the epidural. So then I couldn't feel anything, you know, I was fine. But then my baby's heartbeat started dropping like really low with every contraction, and the nurses were freaking out. You could see it in their face. They were like running around saying, go get this person, and oh my god, you know. And my sister's face was like, her face was like, you can just tell she was like worried, looking at all the nurses like freaking out. And then I'm just staring at my sister, like I just looked at her because I'm wondering what's going on, and I'm waiting for her to tell me something. And my sister looks at me, and then she just goes, she smiles and she winks. But because she was so nervous, and she didn't want to show me that she was scared. So her first reaction when she saw me was like, and she winked like, oh, everything's cool, you know. But I can just tell. So I just wouldn't look at her, and I wouldn't look at anybody. Because I knew that I would like start freaking out if I saw everybody. So I would just like kind of look away, close my eyes, and I started breathing. You know, I was trying not to panic. I'm like, the last thing I need to do right now is panic, because I panicked with Emily and I almost started crying. So then I was trying to be calm, and they're like, okay, honey, and we need you to put, you know, turn on your left side, turn on your right, turn on your left. And the same thing with Emily happened. Like her heartbeat started dropping. But with Emily, I had like double the epidural, because remember the thing came out with Emily. They had to re-inject me, and they put double the medicine, so I couldn't feel nothing. I was like paralyzed from like here down. But with this one, I couldn't feel any contractions, but I can move. I can move my feet. I can feel people touching my legs, like everything. It was the best epidural, like, ever. You know, like, I don't know how much you put, but anyways, enough for me not to feel the contractions, but not enough for me not to feel my feet or, like, my body, if that makes any sense. So anyways, so then they're like, you know, her heart, or his heart wouldn't stop going up. Wouldn't start going up. It kept going low and low, and then they're like, okay, can you get on your hands and knees? Like, do you think you can do that? And I was like, at this point, I'm like, I don't care, you know, what you guys want me to do, I'll do it. I was even gonna say, just to cut the baby, the stomach, and take the baby out. Like, I was about to start freaking out when they told me, okay, this is like the last thing, get on your stomach or on your hands and knees. So then I turned around, and I'm like laying down with my butt sticking out, and I told my sister, can you please cover my ass? I'm like, I don't want everybody to see it. And then she's like, we'll take care of you. So, you know, she covered my butt. Anyways, so I was like laying like this, and like I had like my butt up and everything, and I was thinking I was gonna be so uncomfortable, but I was so comfortable I could go to sleep like that. I mean, I was so comfortable just laying like that, and right away the baby's heartbeat started going up. So they kept me like that for a good hour, and they didn't want me to lay back down until the baby was at a steady, you know, good heartbeat. So then when he was like steady, they're like, okay, we're gonna try to put you on your side again. I mean, they had me on oxygen, you know, just like with Emily. And then so I went on my side, and the baby was fine. After that, he was perfectly fine. Sometimes his heartbeat would drop a little bit, but not enough to scare them. But so then after I was laying on my side, I'm like, I started feeling contractions, and I'm like, I think I'm feeling contractions. I'm like, am I getting one? Because I feel some. And she's like, yeah, you're getting one right now. She's like, you're feeling them? And I'm like, yes. And they didn't give me that little thing to push, like the little button. So they were like, you know, they're like, well, let me push the button for you. But as soon as they pushed it, it didn't even have time to kick in. Like, everything started going really fast. It was like, you know, they checked me probably a little bit before that, before they put me on my hands and knees. No, before they put the epidural in, I was already 6 centimeters dilated. And my sister was about to leave, and when she's like, oh my god, you're already 6, never mind, I'll stay, you know. And that's when they put the epidural. You know, sorry I'm skipping some parts, you know, it's all coming back to me. But so then they had to check me again because I was like, I can feel the contractions, and they're like, well, we're gonna check you, we're gonna go get something, I don't know what. So then, you know, the contractions started getting harder, and I started shaking. Like, I was shaking, my teeth were like just shaking. I mean, I felt like I was gonna break my teeth. And they're like, you know, it's so weird that she can feel the contractions, you know, that means it's, you know, it's wearing off. You know, it's wearing off. So I started feeling everything, and they started getting stronger and stronger, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, something burns down there, like, oh my god, it hurts. I feel like they're putting like something like a pepper, hot pepper down there, or something, like hot sauce, like, I don't know, something hot, like spicy. I'm like, it burns, you know, like, it's a weird, I don't know, I'm just describing it weird, but that's what it felt like. You know, I'm like, it's burning, and I'm like, oh my god. And then my sister's like, oh my god. I'm like, why is she feeling it? And then they're like, oh, we're gonna check her right now. And then they checked, and she's like, oh my god. And then they're just like, you're already at 9.5. This is like a 2 something in the morning. So then they're like, we gotta go get the, you know, the midwife, or I don't know what you call them. It's a doctor or midwife, I don't know, person that delivers the baby. And then she comes in and she checks me, and she's like, oh, she's like, you're ready to push, honey. So then she like got in her little outfit, and then I did 3 segments of pushing. By the 3rd time, I started pushing. The baby started crowning, and they're like, baby's crowning, and that's why you feel, you know, the burning and all this. So my sister's like, oh my god, you know, he's gonna be here soon. She's like, good job, just hang in there. And she was like, you know, making me feel all better. And my boyfriend was there. He was rubbing my stomach, he was rubbing my arm, you know, he was there too. Just, it was just my boyfriend and my sister in the room. So anyways, so they're telling me to push. I started pushing it, and then in my mind I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm going to feel the pain, because I didn't feel anything with Emily. I'm like, I can't believe I'm gonna feel this. Oh my god, I'm scared, you know. But I'm like, I need to get my baby out. So I pushed and I pushed really hard, and then finally I felt the head come out, and the pain wasn't bad. It was like oh, like just uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, you know. So the baby's head came out, and then I could feel the whole body come out, and then they put him on me, and then, you know, he was crying, and oh my god, I started bawling. Like with Emily, I didn't cry because I was so weak. I had lost a lot of blood, and with this one I didn't really bleed much. Not really, actually. I didn't even tear, like they didn't even need to put stitches in. Like, it was so easy. And I was just bawling like a baby. I was just like, oh my god, I was so emotional. And I'm like, he looks like Emily, but you know, he doesn't look like Emily that much now, but so yeah, he weighed 8 pounds 1 ounce, and he was 21 inches long, and I have him right here. But yeah, it was a really easy labor. Like, I can't believe that I actually went into labor on my own. I mean, even though they put that pill in, but still, with Emily, they put that pill in, they put the Pitocin in, it took forever, and this time it was just like quick without the Pitocin. But I'll let you guys meet Sebastian. He's right here. So I named him Sebastian. And let me show him to you guys. But this is my baby. He's so tiny and he's so cute. I love him so much. But yeah, and I am breastfeeding. I breastfeed. I try to breastfeed every 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes I'll be busy and I forget, and it'll be 4 hours, but you know, I still put him on there. I am doing way better than I was with Emily. Emily, I just tried it and I gave up right away. And with him, I feed him every time. Like, he only drinks bottle like maybe once or twice at night, because he won't let me sleep, but only because he wants to be attached to my boob like all night. And I feel it's because he keeps falling asleep, so he doesn't eat much. And sometimes I feel like I don't have that much milk at night, so I'll give him a bottle so he can get more. But usually it's breast milk that I've pumped before, or like that day. Or if I didn't pump enough, I'll give him formula. But I've only given him formula like 2 times. But he's going to be a week old tomorrow, so I think it's pretty good that I've only given him formula twice. Okay, maybe 3 times. But anyways, this is him. I hope you guys can see him good, because the lighting is horrible in here. But yeah, he's awake a lot of the time. But he got a photo shoot done today. They took pictures of him and Emily. But yeah, this is my little baby. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated more later. That's my labor and delivery story for now. I know it's kind of short. I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff, but anyways, Hope you guys liked my video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.